obviously the playoff between you and Larry David is the stuff of legend. You know what I mean? Like, and it always seemed like a lot of it was very improvised. You know what I mean? The way you guys would go back
Whole
and
show,
forth.
the show is a complete improvised show.
Mhm.
There are no lines. There's no dialogue. All you guys are outline, and the outline is just the episode.
Mhm.
And you create your own storyline. You create everything you say is basically off the dome.
Yeah.
Which is basically what the audition process was. And also that's exactly what happens on the show.
Right.
Even when we're doing blocking, mean lining the shot up.
Yeah.
And it's like a fake rehearsal, just for the cameras. Even then, we don't say lines. We go blah, 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 Larry. And we don't say lines. Because Larry does not want to know.
Blah, 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 Larry.
He does not want to know what you're going to say.
Yeah.
Because it ruins it. And man, I tell you, and it goes back to that, you go as far as you can go and allow them to pull you back.
Yeah. Right.
You know, man, when I tell you.
I'm sure you're trying to break each other too, like while you're on set.
I told Larry, I said, I got a stand-up rhythm. I said, man, I'm looking at Larry ass, man. I'm basically, and I see that lip twitch a little bit. I know I got his ass. I got him on his heels.
Is that his give that he's trying not to break?
He goes like, he do that shit. I said, I got your ass on. And when you figure that shit out, I change it up. I do a whole different one.
Yeah.
So there's like 10 different versions of every scene. I just keep changing that shit on his ass. But here's a thing that's unique. Even though the show is improvised, as far as where I want to go, I decide in the moment if I want to have his back or go against him.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no, oh, you got his back automatically. No, I'm choosing. If I want to say that's fucked up, Larry, or if I want to say, yo, that's fucked up, I like it. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, I choose in the moment right there before they say action if I'm gonna have his back or I'm gonna go against him. But that determines the scene. That's that hard left. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I like you make that hard left on me. You know what I mean?
What's the hardest left you've ever taken on set where it's like it wasn't so hard?
Oh man,
that next scene had to be like something that wasn't even.
Getting that ass was probably the greatest one ever. Getting that ass, Larry. Larry, no, it's so funny.
Oh, part of the left for JB.
Larry never heard the term "getting that ass," and I knew the first take he was like this. He didn't know what the fuck getting that ass was. After they said cut, he said what's getting that ass? I said, what? You never heard getting that ass? What? And man, I had to explain to him what getting that ass meant. He said, oh, that's, he said, really? He's so fascinated by things. Really? And man, getting that ass was one of those terms, man. And that's our first big scene.
Yeah.
That's our first big scene we shot. That's our first day of shooting.
Wow.
Getting that ass was that episode.
Wow.
And man, when I tell you I hit him with that.
Sounds crazy.
They're killing me with that.
That joint and the stained blanket was another one.
The stained blanket was funny as
as hell.
Yes, it was.
That was up. And literally, look, I always say you meet people before you meet them sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And being a fan of the show and me saying I want to be on that show one day and my wife telling me I'm going to be on that show one day, that became like you throw it to the universe.
Yeah.
And look, man, I don't know how it works, but everything I say I'm going to do happens. You know, I said a long time ago, man, I was watching the Chris Rock show. I said, I'm gonna be on this show one day as a stand-up. And next thing you know, I did sketches on the show, and I went to LA. My first week in LA, I'm doing stand-up at the Comedy Store, and I think Chris, Eddie, and somebody else was together in one booth at the show. And literally, after the show, the next day, my agent was like, yo, Chris called. He said, we want you to do stand-up on the show, on the Chris Rock show. I said, what? And he's only done like maybe three people ever have done stand-up on the Chris Rock show.
Mm-hmm.
When I said, I want to be on SNL one day, audition for SNL, ended up coming in. I made it to the last three people. Keenan and Finesse made it. And Lauren Michaels called me and said, we love what you did, but you know, we picked Finesse and Keenan. Would you like to come in as a writer, JB? We'd love to have you. I said, yeah, I'll come in as a fucking writer. Shit. But I figure I'm going to get in there like a fucking Trojan horse. I'm gonna
Right.
get in that bitch. You know,
That's my way. That's your way in.
I'm gonna get in that bitch. I'm gonna shake that shit up. I'm gonna shake that shit up when I get there. I got to that motherfucker, man. I gave everybody nicknames and shit. I'm walking around the office and shit, fucking with people. And man, literally, you know, I got a chance to write on the show, do warm up on the show, do I did Conan O'Brien downstairs like 9 times on camera. I got a chance, and that's 4 checks outside of my writing check. That's that New York hustle right there.
Talk to him.
And the same thing goes for Curb, and the same thing goes for Spider-Man Far From Home. I did a fucking commercial with Tom Holland for the Audi commercial because that's the car brand that was in the movie. And next thing you know, they called me to be in Spider-Man Far From Home. So I think everything is how you show up initially. How you show up determines everything with your movement. And I just like to show the fuck up and I'll give you what you want. But at the same time, I'm going to be comfortable doing what I do. But I can give you exactly what you want, you know. And when you say, okay, I got what I need, but the next few takes are yours. When they tell me that shit, man, let me tell you something, boy.
It's go time.
I felt like, oh, here we go, goddammit.
Like it's getting the ISO.
I'm gonna do what I want. He said, this is mine.
I got a play coming to me.
When they say that shit, next three is yours, I'm like, yo, I'm about to go off on these fools.